Hey everyone, it's Nico, and this is Goblin Slayer, Another Adventurer, Nightmare Feast. That title is quite the mouthful. Goblin Slayer is a Japanese dark fantasy anime TV series, which is what this game is based on. I'm not familiar with the series other than that, but this game is a tactical RPG. And if you've played any tactical RPG before, this one will feel very familiar. It consists of 3 core elements. There's obviously the story sequences, which are long scenes where the dialogue is spoken solely in Japanese, although you can toggle the voiceovers off if you desire. Then the text is translated in English for the first time, since I believe the original Steam release was only in Japanese. Available to you are different options to speed these scenes up or slow them down, depending on your reading speed. You can also skip these altogether if you're just here for the gameplay. Expect to spend a lot of time in these since the story scenes are pretty lengthy. The next element is managing your guild from the base area. In the base, you can recruit and manage different adventurers. You can also promote them, which seems to occur when you meet certain levels because you gain XP from battles, obviously. There's a workshop to purchase equipment, and you can also enhance it using different materials and currency. There's also an item shop to buy consumables like healing items or traps for battles. And this is also where you'll select your quests you want to embark on. Some are optional, but at times you'll need to complete a certain amount of them to unlock the next story quest. And then the last component of the game is obviously the combat. There's a setup phase where you can select your tools and set your traps and pick which characters you want to use in that particular battle. There's usually a limit, like maybe 10 for example. And the rest of this is just standard tactical RPG combat. It felt similar to other games, and I'm not the most experienced tactical RPG player, but the 3DS games like Project Cross Zone and the Transformers game by WayForward, it felt very similar to those. You'll move on a grid. The characters all have their own unique abilities and spells. You can use items. Characters have different ranges. If they're a melee character, usually they'll have to be right next to an enemy to attack them. If they're a ranged character or have a ranged spell, they might be able to attack a few blocks away. You can move certain amount of spaces. You take turns with the AI or the computer. It all just felt really familiar to me. And if you've played a game like this before, I'd be wasting your time to explain it, because it's exactly like any other tactical RPG. Each battle usually has a win condition and a loss condition. Sometimes you might lose if you fail to protect a certain NPC or something like that, and you'll pretty much always fail if your guildmaster gets defeated. Now, I played this on the lower of the 2 difficulties, and it didn't have permadeath. I don't know if the higher difficulty does or not, but when your characters get vanquished, they will come back at the end of the battle. You'll just lose them for the duration of that current one that you're on. The characters in the game all felt really unique, and I had a lot of fun trying the different characters out in battle, because you will very quickly gain a bigger party than you can actually take with you into combat. And the only characters in your party that will gain XP when you win battles are the ones that are active. Doesn't matter if they make it through to the end of the battle or not, they'll still gain XP even if they were vanquished. So you don't have to worry about that. Again, at least on the lower of the 2 difficulties. The game as a whole was really straightforward, and I think that was because of how well the tutorial teaches you the fundamentals. So if you're not a huge tactical RPG fan like me, it will get you acclimated right away and make you feel comfortable. Manipulating some of the different elements of the game can be a bit cumbersome, but there are options you can switch and toggle on so that you can kind of cater that to not be as annoying. And there's usually multiple ways to kind of like switch between your characters or something like that during combat, so you could really settle on the one that works best for you. You can expect the battles to take quite a while, like usually 20 to 30 minutes for most battles. Maybe I was a bit slow, I'm not sure, but they were pretty long battles, and for somebody like myself that's used to turn-based RPGs like Dragon Quest or Octopath Traveler, those are usually shorter fights unless they're boss fights, so these were very long for me, and I didn't necessarily dislike that, but a long battle like that resulting in a failure does feel like a bit of time wasted since you go all the way back to the start. It'll basically reset you to your previous save, so that's a bit of a bummer and a pretty solid penalty for making a mistake if you happen to lose your guildmaster. Overall, I enjoyed the game. I'm not the biggest fan of tactical RPGs, so I only had a very basic understanding of the flow of combat, but this game still felt natural for me. It has 2 difficulty settings, and I chose the easier of the 2, and I still found this to be challenging, so take that how you want. I'm not sure if it's just difficult, or that's my inexperience with these types of games showing. I thought the music in the game was absolutely stellar, and I really like the anime style in the story scenes, and the high quality pixel art during combat. It looked similar to Square Enix's HD 2D style. This will keep you busy for a while, and whether you're a genre veteran or a newbie, I think this will appeal to any type of player interested in the genre, especially since it does a good job of introducing its mechanics to you at the start. Pick this one up if you're interested in a tactical RPG experience, but just don't expect anything that reinvents the wheel, so to speak. I appreciate you watching this review and hope you found it helpful. If you did, give the video a like, comment below if you have any questions, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. And until next time, have a good one.